Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is actually going to be a review of the Cybex Balios S pushchair. So if you want a pushchair that say has, for example, a one-handed compact fold and ample space in the storage basket, and it's also suitable from birth up to 17 kilograms, which is around 4 years old, then this might be the pushchair for you. So keep watching. So as I mentioned in the introduction of this video, I am indeed reviewing the Cybex Balios S pushchair today. And if you're new to my channel, a bit of background: my name is Charlotte, I am 30 and I am a mum to 3 kiddos ranging from 6 years old almost to 11 weeks old today, actually, when I'm filming it. So I have a lot of experience now with pushchairs, travel systems, buggies, prams, whatever you want to call them, whatever different types they are. I feel like I have tried a lot and I really know what works for me and my family and what I like. So when I was asked by Cybex to review the Balios S, I was curious. I always like keep an open mind and I always try and be as objective as I can. So what I'm going to do in this video is run through what you get in the box, how you assemble it, how easy it was, and then the main features and things that I like, and then I will end the video with a review at the very end, just so you know what our thoughts are like. So let's start with the unboxing. Like, the size of the box wasn't too big, it wasn't too big to get in the house, and then inside there weren't actually that many pieces, which is really good, because sometimes you buy things like this and you feel like you need a degree in how to assemble them. They're that complicated. So inside you had the main frame or chassis, you had a hood to assemble onto the chassis as well. My seat was already attached, but that does remove and clip on because you can change whether it's front or rear facing if you want to. And then there were 4 wheels, so 2 rear and then 2 front wheels, and then there was also a rain cover along with some instructions, which, you know, came in different languages as well, which is really versatile depending on whoever's bought it. It didn't take me long to assemble at all. The only thing that I would say that I struggled with slightly was just trying to get the hood on, because there was a certain technique to it, because basically the clip is hidden out of the way by the gorgeous fabric around the chassis, so you kind of got to tuck the clip inside the fabric first and then clip it on. But once I realised what I was doing, then it was really easy to do. But that was the only area that I kind of fumbled on, really. But yeah, it probably took me around 5 minutes to assemble in total. I found it really easy to do, and I don't think it would be very difficult for any sort of size, shape person. It's not too heavy, you don't have to lift too many bits, and it's not too hard to do. So that was a big thumbs up from me, because I hate it when I get something new. Like, working out how to use it stresses me out, especially if I think, well, if I ever had to dismantle it out and about or on the go, say if I was at an airport and I was having to go somewhere, like, I want it to be easy, and this was, which was a real plus for me. So now what I'm going to do is insert some footage from the day that we received the Cybex Balios S, because obviously I have been reviewing this for a good couple of weeks now, because I don't like to give just a very, you know, basic impression of here's what it looks like, here it is outside the box, that kind of thing. I've actually been using it. So here is some footage of me showing you all of the bits and bobs before it got all dusty and dirty with use, and you can see some of the key features and bits that I liked on first impressions. So first things first, this is what the Cybex Balios S looks like, and as you can see, it has a gorgeous sleek black chassis frame here, and then I have it in a very dark navy shade, which I think is perfect for kids, because this is the sort of shade that can withstand, you know, wear and tear and stains and dirt and general toddlers and babies. So generally, from a style perspective, I have to say it's probably the most attractive pushchair stroller that I've ever owned. It is absolutely stunning. It's very sleek. The attention to detail is beautiful, and I love this armadillo style hood here. It's really stylish. It's just my sort of style altogether, and you'll notice that this comes in at several points, so you can adjust this to suit your baby, and you have this extra canopy section here at the front that you can of course tuck in if you want to, which is an added bonus. And not only that, there is actually a zip where you can extend the hood even further. So when baby is asleep, they are completely shaded from the sun. So say if you were going on holiday, which by the way I think this would be perfect for, but more on that in another moment, this would be perfect. You have a little spy flap here at the back so you can see how your child is while they're asleep if you're pushing them along and you've got them forward facing, and I just think it's fantastic. So another plus point for me, while we're on the topic of the seat and the hood and things like that, is the fact that this is absolutely perfect for the ages that my youngest two are at now. So my eldest, my 2-year-old, can sit fully upright. She can see what's going on around her. The seat here adjusts so the footrest can come up or down depending on the age of your child and how they like to sit. But if I was to put my newborn in, I actually could, because the Cybex Balios S reclines completely flat, so it's safe for newborn travel. Now, I've seen strollers and pushchairs and, you know, buggies of this kind before, but what's always concerned me is that they never look comfortable enough for a newborn. But inside the seat here is some seriously comfortable padding. It's really quite plush. There are panels at the side for extra protection so your child can get comfortable. So say if, you know, your child did nod off while you were walking around and they're headlong to one side, they've got extra support here, which is really nice to see. And I would feel quite confident with my newborn actually using this. I just think it's really well made, and they've thought about every eventuality. So if we're looking at the Cybex Balios S front on, you'll see that there is a little handlebar here, which is great for hooking toys on. So if you've got toddlers that need entertaining, that's fantastic. And then if you want easy access to getting them in and out, you can take it off from one side and leave one side on, but you can also remove it completely as well. So it's entirely up to you. Say if you were dismantling this, putting this in storage, you could take this off if you wanted to. So the next feature that I want to show you is the fact that it has a 5-point harness. So it's all very stylish and very easy to use as well, actually. And you can clip in one point at a time rather than having to do them together, which you can find on a lot of harnesses like this, which I find with a wriggly toddler is really irritating sometimes. And then to release, you just press this button in the middle and it all pops out. You've also got extra padding here for support on your child so they're nice and comfortable. And what I really liked is that any excess in terms of adjusting the straps, you can actually fold and tuck inside these straps, and then there's a little elasticated part here to hook on top of the buckle, so everything is nice and neat and out of the way and your child's not going to get irritated by excess straps, which is really handy. Now in terms of adjusting everything, it's really straightforward to do. You just lift this part up to loosen and then pull down, so it's very quick and easy. And if I were to be out and about and switching my toddler and my newborn out of the seat, then I could do it very effortlessly without having to fiddle too much, which is a real plus point for me. So the next point of interest will be the wheels, and these are my favourite type of wheels actually, because they aren't air filled, so you're not going to risk a puncture. And I always think that's something that you should really be looking for when you are looking for a stroller or a pushchair. That's just my personal preference. Now, as well as being solid wheels that withstand all different types of terrains, you will also notice here that there is some suspension, so it takes curbs and bumps in the road very nicely. And then when you look at the front wheels here, which also have suspension, you can see that you can either set them to swivel, which is really useful, or you can set them to lock into place, and that is just entirely up to how you like to use your pushchair. My personal preference is to set them to swivel because I find it more easy to maneuver. Now, while we're down at the lower part of this pushchair, you can also see that there is a footrest here. Now, this seat is actually suitable from birth up to 17 kilograms in weight, which is usually around the 4-year mark. So if you have a larger child using this, then you can simply adjust the footrest here and they can sit their feet very firmly and comfortably on here. And sometimes this point is lacking on a lot of pushchairs, and I'm really impressed with it because it's very sturdy. And then finally underneath we have the basket, and I've actually got the rain cover in here at the moment, which is very well made, along with some simple and easy to follow instructions in a variety of languages. But this is a really good sized basket, considering the fact that this is just a stroller or a pushchair. Normally prams and travel systems come with the bigger size baskets, but this is ample enough. As an example of the size, I've got my changing bag here just to show you what it can hold inside. This isn't a small changing bag by any means, it's a large backpack, but I still have space in the front here for additional items. And another thing I like is that it's really easy to access either from the back or via the front, so you can really get in there and get the things that you need without having to disturb your child. The first thing you want to do is fold your seat forward, so all the way down. Then next up, there are 2 buttons on the handlebar here, so you want to slide the top one across and push the bottom one in, and you're going to lower that down until you hear a click, and then all you need to do is pull it right down. Now, as you can see, this stands freely as well, which is so useful, and it also has a inbuilt handlebar in the seat, so you can lift it and take it wherever you want to go. So it's really easy to put in the boot of our car, and it's very compact to stash away. And then if you want to use it, you just release the locking clip here, pull up the handle, extend the handlebar, and then we're just going to pull up the seat again. And then you just pull up the handlebar here and you are good to go. So finally, what do we think of the Cybex Balios S? Now, I have to say, obviously day to day I have a travel system with a double seat to it basically, because I have a 2-year-old, Daisy is my 2-year-old, and then I also have a 11-week-old Stanley, and I prefer to be able to push them both together because I've got school runs to do with my eldest Bill, we have errands to do, running out and about, so I tend to use that day to day. But as you might know if you're already a parent, 2 is a very tricky age because it is on the cusp of them wanting to do things for themselves. So Daisy's quite independent and likes to walk a lot, and we have noticed that sometimes taking a double out is just too bulky and we don't need it if she's not wanting to go in it, and if it's a short journey, that kind of thing. Now, I found the Balios S for that reason really handy if, say, I want to put Stanley in it and we can go out and about. It does recline completely flat, so he is very comfortable, and I was surprised at how padded it was. I think I've mentioned that earlier on in this video. It's extremely comfortable, more than what you would expect, and that gives me a lot of security, because that's one thing that I'm always wary of when you see pushchairs like this that say, you know, suitable from birth. You always wonder whether or not they actually are comfortable, but this one is, and I was very happy to use it. One instance where we really got the value of it was actually this weekend just gone, and we went to visit a local National Trust park, and again we didn't want to take the double with us because it would take up a lot of space in the boot, and it would also be quite hard to get up hills because there were some really steep hills, and as it is quite safe to walk, we wanted to let Daisy go and do her thing and that sort of thing. So it just made good sense to take a single pushchair instead, and it was perfect. The basket was just big enough for everything that we needed, so we had like a kite under there, we had a football, we had our changing bag, and we had some drinks bottles and that kind of thing, just ready for a day of exploring, and it was the perfect size, and we were really pleased about that. And then there were some times where Daisy did want to go in it because she was getting tired, so then I was able to wear Stanley in a sling because I brought that with me and I had the foresight to bring that with me, and you do get used to your family dynamics after a while. But I just thought it was really simple to use, and because the straps adjust really quickly, if Stanley was in it, I could easily switch Stanley out for Daisy and back again, and it wasn't too hard to like change it round in any way or adjust it. It was just very simple to like switch one child out and put the other child in. It's very light, and that meant that we could get up and down the hills quite easily. I think if we had the additional weight of a really heavy chassis to push up there, it would have been 10 times more difficult, even pushing a toddler in it. And we also really enjoyed the extended hood or sunshade. It was just brilliant because it was so warm, and obviously Stanley's only very young, and we wanted to make sure that if he did fall asleep he was fully shaded from the sun, and he was, and it was just it was a lifesaver because I've never ever had a pushchair with a hood like that before, and I just thought it was spot on. And to be honest, we have just enjoyed it that much that we actually go on holiday in a week's time, and we've decided to take the Cybex Balios S with us because A, it's compact, so we know that it's going to withstand like travel quite well. We are getting on a plane, it's only a short haul flight, but we feel like we can get through customs with it quite easily, and it's not too tricky to sort of put up and put down when it has to go through the scanners, and then we can whip it back up again. again with its one-handed like opening and fold. So that's what we've decided to do, because I just feel like it would be perfect. It's lightweight, we're driving to the airport anyway with a load of suitcases, so it's not going to take up too much room in the back of the car, and I just feel like it's perfect for that. So if you are particularly looking for a travel pushchair or a pushchair just for a single child, then this is it. It's I love it, because some of them do seem quite rickety and not really fit for purpose. They just seem to be kind of like a chair with wheels and it gets you from A to B, but this is comfortable, it reclines, it's got a great hood and canopy to it, it's got a fantastic basket, and you have a handlebar that you can adjust as well, which is rare on things like this, I find. So yeah, that is everything I think I've got to say. So if you would like to know more, I will leave a link down below so you can find out like the details of where to purchase it from, costs, like all of the specs and that sort of thing, and then you can go ahead and make a decision that is right for you if you think this will work for you and your family. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you found this helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.